All right, we're on BDP. BDP talks football. We're on. So, what were you going to say? Was that, or didn't you not want to say it live?
You updated the studio so the chat works. Yes, you did. Okay, sweet.
It should. Oh yeah, is it working?
Yep,
I was just
we're
going
good
to
to
go
go.
check.
We're good to. Oh, it says subscribers only mode.
What's that mean? Oh yeah, yeah. That's for the chat.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. They have to be sub to be
to
able to
chat.
chat.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, that's what I've seen everyone do. So I just left it that way.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
But it's on here now.
All right, CDS 10-7, man. Let me hear your thoughts. Let me hear your thoughts about this game.
Oh my gosh, so many, man. It
Let's
was.
hold on. Can we start with?
I was gonna let you
No,
go
go first.
first.
Go first. No, you go first. You go first. You go first.
Okay. Wow. So ultimately, I'm gonna look at it like this: is we went to Lambeau Field on a Monday night in cold weather against a team that lost to freaking Carolina last week
Mm,
and hasn't lost back-to-back home games since I think the 1880s.
mm.
And we came out with a win. And a lot of times in the NFL, you're not going to be at your best, and you've got to win ugly. And they won ugly. I mean, they did just enough. There were good things to take away from it, like Phillips at defensive end. Jalix Hunt played extremely well also. And there were things that were concerning. Once again, now it's one game out of nine where the running game has been effective. Right, Saquon Barkley once again terrible. Now again, some of that's on the offensive line, some of that's on the play calling being predictable, but that's what it's been all year.
Dude, I
So
mentioned this in my post game. It's like it got worse as the game went on. Usually,
it
like
seems,
your running game is supposed to get better as the game
and
goes on.
that's
It
what the
just got
Eagles always
worse,
used to do,
man.
right?
Like
Like we'd wear
goodness,
them down.
yeah. It was tough watching those last couple of drives just not be able to run for first downs, man.
Well,
That
they
dude.
they
See, you're already gonna get. I'm already gonna get going, man. Tank
uh
Bigsby, dude. The last time we saw Tank Bigsby, he had over 100 yards rushing. What's he doing?
and
Only
he got
getting 3 carries.
carry. That's one of the
What are
things
we
that stood out for
doing?
me too. Yeah, it's absolutely insane. You've got Bark, and don't forget now. I know it may not have been much, but you've got Barkley, who except last game hasn't been good all year. And last game we are wondering what it is when he pulled up lame on the one big run, and we're all concerned: is it a groin? What's going on? And you had Tank Bigsby light it up, and then you come back to the very next game and you give Saquon Barkley the ball 22 times for a whopping 60 yards, by the way, less than 3 yards a carry.
It was bad.
Like,
See,
we can
yes,
do that.
with Tank. See, the thing is with Tank is like, yes, he had a good game last game out, but he was making them miss in the backfield. It's not like he was just running through
Yes.
the line of scrimmage and going breaking. He's breaking yards. He's breaking defenders in the backfield to turn a
Yep.
negative into a positive. So
Yep.
it's not like we were just running all over the place. He's actually making defenders miss. We needed him yesterday.
And when they aren't missing, he was carrying them,
Yeah,
and
yeah, he was
and to that
dragging them
point,
along.
that's one of the things, like when people talk about when we've talked about this before, the decline of running backs at a certain age and everything. And okay, yeah, most running backs, when you're getting hit in the backfield, that's a problem. Overall, you're not going to have a good average and this and that. But great running backs are here and there going to make those first guys miss. And that's a good indicator of how explosive a running back still is. Last year, Saquon would have made some of those guys miss this year that he's not making miss. When
Yeah.
that first guy gets in that backfield, he's done. He's not going anywhere. We're not seeing that break. And before the game last week, or 2 weeks ago, when Tank actually got the carries, was over 100 yards and everything. If you recall, because we talked about this, the week before, I think it was the week before, after he had been here a while, it was the first time he ever got a carry for the Eagles. He gets
Oh
one
yeah.
carry. It's an impressive carry. It's 11 yards,
Yeah.
something Barkley hadn't done all season. And then we never see him again, like in that
Yeah.
game. I mean,
Dude, I'm looking at the stats and it says Saquon Barkley longest carry 15 yards. I'm thinking, wait, that was in the first drive.
yeah. So think about that. That means 45 yards on the final 21 carries.
Yeah, it was not. That's just not good. And here we go, dude. I pulled it up. The Cowboys are like the Eagles. not in the top 10, not in the bottom 10 of rushing defense, in the middle 10. So it's not
Right.
like this is a world beating defense. It's not like it's a roll over and die defense either. But it's a defense that we should at least be able to muster 120 rush yards, given how many times we actually carried the
Well,
ball.
that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It
Well,
was it
yeah.
was a non-factor. That's the thing. It was a non-factor.
And yeah, then and that's I mean, you're not going to score a lot. Like it can be great, and I understand when you're balanced, right? I mean, Jalen only threw the ball 26 times. They carried it 30, I think. Jalen had 5 carries himself for 27. He was our most productive runner. But when you have all those carries and you've got Saquon again, take away the 15-yarder, 21 carries, 45 yards. It's very difficult to sustain drives because you're going to always be behind the sticks that way. When you're not
Yeah,
getting anything on the ground, it's always going to be 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10. And
yeah.
then, of course, we know that Kevin Patullo loves to give up on third and anything over 5 yards. He runs the ball on 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, and then punts. And to that point about sustaining drives as well, and this is I think as much probably more so the running game or lack thereof than the passing game is I believe the Eagles lead the league in 3 and outs.
Mm.
That's insane that this team can lead the league in that stat.
It changed it, CDS. Not to cut you off. The live that you had scheduled didn't go live. A different live went
All right,
live.
I gotta
I was
I
I
gotta
was in the
figure
wrong
that out.
chat. I was in the wrong chat because I'm looking.
Oh,
I'm like,
okay.
wait, why isn't this
I
moving?
gotta figure that out then because that happened last time too.
Right.
I think
Yeah, just giving you the heads up.
it,
Um.
it's I don't know why it's not connecting.
Uh.
That's probably why we have nobody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody I
CDS.
might, I'm gonna go in and see if I can delete that other one.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. And again, to your point, right? To both of our points, Tank's making them miss in the backfield. And then to your point, when he's getting stopped after 2, 3 yards, he's fighting with the offensive line to get an extra 4 or 5 yards. At some point, I know it's hard to switch it up with speed, but just give them a different look out of the backfield. Give him a guy that yes he has agility, yes he is elusive, but he's a different kind of elusive with Saquon. Saquon's like a low to the ground elusive. Bigsby is like a up high
He runs a little
shifty,
more upright. Yeah.
yeah, type of shifty elusive. So you got to switch it up a little bit. And I do want to say one thing with Saquon. There was one run that it looked like he could possibly break, but the refs didn't decide to call it Micah Parsons sticking his leg out and
Oh yeah,
tripping
that
him,
is
dude.
yes.
That was an
One
egregious trip. There's
one
no
hundred.
way they missed that. They just refused to
No,
call it.
they refuse to
Yeah,
call it.
there's no way they
Yeah,
missed that. They refused to call it
yeah,
because it was so
um,
blatant and out there. It's like,
yeah,
dude.
yeah. That was
And
that,
shout
that
out
was
to
ridiculous.
Aikman and Buck. They were letting the referees have it last night. They were letting the referees have it last night, both ways.
Yeah,
Even for the
choice.
Packers, saying, guys, the Packers' offensive left guard is false starting, false starting, false. And then finally they call a false start, and you hear Troy
Right.
can say they missed it on the last 2 times. It's about time they called a false start. So
Yeah,
kudos to those
and
guys.
and to that point, and again, it goes to choosing two things on that, specifically to the tush push. Even though, of course, false starts are not, it's not play specific. We talked about that with tackles are false starting all the time on passing plays. What's his name for the Chiefs that gets away with murder on the false starts. But what I was going to say is it was all over everywhere because the Eagles did blatantly get away with a false start on one of them, and it was all over everywhere. Right? They're all talking about it and also, and yet the Packers also got away with a false start on the tush push, and I don't see it anywhere. Like no one's even talking about it. Right, which goes to the agenda. But because of that, I saw where someone said that referees may have been instructed, at least with the Eagles, to not call false starts.
Mm.
So it makes it easier to get rid of the play after the season. I wouldn't put it past the NFL to do that. But yeah, it drove me nuts because when the Eagles got away with it on that one, it was everywhere. Packers got away with it too. They false started on their tush push, and no one says a damn thing about it.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, just like when the Bills were running it with Josh Allen,
Oh yeah,
they
no one,
get nothing but praise,
no
right?
one brings it up. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, it's wild. But to that point, I want to go like what you were saying about the run game and everything,
Yeah.
and because I do think this is important
Dude, 22 carries
because
for
I don't want to sound like I'm
60
just
is
bashing
so bad.
Saquon Barkley. We have the play calling. We all know it's been talked about earlier in the season. We saw it a number of times, I think, with the Packers when they absolutely knew that play action was play action and not running plays. When like none of the linebackers went downhill at all, they
Did you
all
see?
stayed in coverage.
Did you see
We're
our
tipping.
D linemen? Did you see our D line guys on that fourth and at that fourth down play? I think it was Jalen Carter saying it's a zone to
Oh
this
yeah,
side,
yeah.
a zone to this
We
side.
figured out. Yeah, we figured out that one too. Yeah,
Love to see that.
was it Carter? I can't remember. Was
It
it
was one of those.
Davis?
It was one of those big guys.
Yeah, and yeah, because they were saying and Love didn't call
Yeah,
out of it.
yeah,
Which, by the way, that's something Jalen Hurts now would do that he wouldn't have done a few years ago. But what that's what I was saying. So it's not just Saquon; it's play calling, obviously, uh, just in general. But we also seem to be tipping things, and then also the offensive line in general, not just injuries, but because Jordan Mailata has quietly been not good this year. I mean, I'm not saying I'd want to get rid of him. I'm not saying he's terrible, but he is not the Jordan Mailata that we had last year. So when you've got Cam's out, Lane Johnson may be. I mean, Lane seems like he
cooked,
hit the wall.
cooked,
Yeah, he may have
cooked.
hit the wall, man. And now he's hurt again with the. I don't know if it's
Yeah,
serious yet with
yeah.
the ankle, but so he hasn't been that good. Cam Jurgens is out. Jordan
Which is
Mailata hasn't
which
been
is
that
good
good.
because Howie's about to draft some fucking monsters. He's
He's
about to
gonna have.
get some
Well, to
monsters.
be fair, honestly, even if Lane was Pro Bowl again this year,
Yeah,
it's time to draft
the
a
writing's on the
replacement,
wall. Yeah, the writing's on the wall.
right? Like kind of like we did with Kelsey with Cam Jurgens, right? He'd been here a little while before Kelsey
Yeah,
finally
well, with
retired.
Melada with Peters.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep, that's what you have to do. So yeah, I mean, overall, it's one of those where your first reaction to the fan is to think about all the negatives and holy crap and how terrible it was. But if you step back, you also understand the reality that you're going to have those games, and it's a lot better to figure out how to win them
yeah,
than it is to lose them. And you realize that just because they played like that in this one game, that it doesn't necessarily mean how it's going to go going forward. It's one of those things. Are there concerns? Yeah, I think we've just been talking about them because they're the concerns that we've had all year long, right? That's the thing, and yet still 7-2.
yeah, yeah. No,
But some of those things got to be improved to get to where we want to go. They may be good enough for the regular season because of the talent level, but when it comes playoff time and the Rams are playing well, or the Seahawks are playing well, or the Lions, especially if we end up having to go somewhere for the NFC Championship game.
yeah, Maxwell. I agree. Losing Becton was a big deal. Yeah, that was that's a big deal right there. I agree. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
dude, the NFL because there's only 17 games CDS. That's the only thing that's keeping me together. Because the
every game
NFL,
needs more.
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. The NFL is the one sport, the one league, excuse me, where a win is a win is a win calms your nerves more than any other sport.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and to
Like,
that point, and that's why you saw the meltdown real quick when we lost two in a row because losing two in a row when you only play
yeah,
17 is
absolutely.
a big deal.
Yeah, it's the
Um,
one sport where a win is a win is a win means the
yeah,
most because
yeah, absolutely. You're
yeah,
gonna no matter how good you are, you're gonna have to win ugly games when
yeah,
you're
you're
just
gonna you're gonna have
not good.
games like this. Now, Maxwell, I appreciate you coming by. My first takeaway with the ugliness, and we talked about this briefly before we went live, is like this seemed like it was the first cold weather game of the season. This was the first cold weather playoff implications, seeding implications on the line game of the season. Like just watching the TV CDS, like I felt a seriousness about this game. Like I
Oh
felt
yeah,
like an important vibe around this game, and the cold weather just added to the fact. So it could have just been one of those games where, damn, we're just playing in brick mode right now. The second thing I want to say between the Packers and the Eagles, this could have also been a situation because because dude, we didn't take a shot until the Devontae Smith touchdown. So this and the Packers didn't really take many shots either. So this, you ever see two heavyweights fight and they're too scared to really throw at each other
Oh,
because they
oh yeah,
know that the other guy, if he catches
and
you, he's going to catch you.
oh, absolutely, and
It's
yeah,
it
for
had a
sure.
little bit of that vibe where, dude, any a mistake will be our last mistake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A
Oh yeah,
mistake will be the one that costs
absolutely.
us
It's
game.
it's funny you said that, and it drives people crazy too because I mean I watch more MMA now than boxing, but it's the same
Yeah,
type of thing. When you get an MMA and you get two
yeah.
guys that you know can end a fight in one punch.
They're
Sometimes
they're not
they,
throwing
they
punches.
just they're
Yeah,
just looking at each other the whole time
yeah,
because no
yeah.
one wants to unload because they don't want to get countered.
Yeah, there was this
Yeah,
Derek Lewis Francis Ngannou fight from a few years ago. I don't know if you remember, like 5, 7 years ago. At this point, Derek Lewis is knocking people out, and Ngannou's just putting people to bed. And people are hyping up this fight as, oh, somebody's gonna. It goes every single round,
and
and
it
they throw
gets
maybe
boring.
5 punches combined because they're
Yeah.
just too scared to engage because they know what the other person can do.
Yep.
Both teams, I mean, we held their running game, they held our running game. We held their passing game, they held our passing game. But again, it's that one shot that we took. That one shot that we took was the shot that got us the win.
Well, and that's where, despite everything else, when you get games like that, that's where talent makes the difference, right?
Yeah.
It was we had two talent plays back to back. The two biggest plays of the game were back to back that got us the touchdown. The
Saquon and
pass to
Smith.
Saquon Barkley that got the run, him checking down to Saquon, which by the way, because I know he's getting a hard time from everyone, and you're giving him a hard time, but I have to shout out, and I do for receivers in general because they should do it, but a lot of them don't. AJ Brown on that pass play with Saquon Barkley sprinting out there and getting ahead of him and blocking. That's a big deal, right? When you have wide receivers, and we've had that. Devontae Smith will do the same thing, and that makes it when you get a running back, and I think that helps with Saquon. It helps with Jalen Hurts in our run game. When you have receivers who are willing to engage and block, that can be, and it was there, right? That's game
Yeah.
changing.
I think the big takeaway for me, although they just lost to the Carolina Panthers, dude, this defense is legit. This defense is legit, man. Jalen Phillips came in and wrecked shit. He did. He did.
Oh
When
yeah.
when the
Oh
opposing
yeah.
offensive line doesn't have a game plan or doesn't have the ability to just hone in on a certain guy and kind of um what's the word I'm looking for? Zone in
Mimic.
on him and no it's kind of like what a linebacker does for a running quarterback.
Oh, Shadow.
Yeah, something like that. Um,
Yeah.
he has the
Spy.
ability. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Spy
yeah.
is usually what they
Yeah,
use in
just
the
keep
NFL.
it keep
Yeah,
an eye on the guy. Like
yeah,
just always know you're gonna right. They could always be a one-on-one when he was with the Dolphins, and then the guard can always chip him. But you're not chipping him with the
no.
Eagles.
Well, you know what? I think
You're not chipping
now
this guy.
I didn't expect to see that in game one, but this goes back to what we said before, like when people wanted to give up so much for Miles Garrett, and I said, with the talent the Eagles have, you don't need you don't need an All Pro because if you get someone who's just average, above average, with the players around him, and I'm not saying Phillips is average, but
Yeah,
with the players around him. He becomes that much better than we've already seen with the Dolphins. And I was just running through. I mean, I'll read off some numbers for you because I have it here. Jalen Phillips, 8 pressures, 19.4% pressure rate, by the way, 7 hurries, 6 tackles, 2 QB hits, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, and he stuffed Josh
sweet.
Jacobs on a huge 4th and 1.
Yeah, yeah.
I
That
mean,
was the fourth. That was the fourth one that we were calling out. That's the
yeah,
fourth one
yeah.
that we're calling out, and then Reed knocks out of his hand. Did they chalk that up to Jalen Phillips?
That's what I
Because
have here from
Reed
what I saw.
Blankenship
I
definitely
mean,
knocked it out. He recovered the fumble. Jalen Phillips recovered the Jordan
wait,
Love. He recovered the Jordan Love fumble. That was Jalen
okay,
Phillips that
yeah.
fell on that.
That was Jalen Phillips. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Um,
But
who else
yeah,
did he need to
so
come
yeah,
by?
dude, that was a. And by the way, it's to that point. Who is it? Ajomo.
Yeah.
I gotta say, and I know this might be, maybe we consider this a hot take, but I mean, can't you make the argument that he's because people talk about, oh man, Milton, we're missing Milton, right? Well, you could make the argument that Ajomo's having a better year this year than Milton did for us last year,
Oh yeah, no. Ajomo um, is playing great. I don't know how people can even
right?
complain
So it's
about
like,
anything that he's done this
I
year.
don't know so much people are complaining about him. Oh man, Rhodes, you're crazy. Thank you, sir. Really do appreciate it as
Appreciate that,
always.
Rose.
Love it.
or even comparing to Milton. The thing is, he's not even playing bad to the point where you would even want to compare him to Milton Williams. I don't even understand that.
No, I just think it's more people are. I'm not necessarily saying people are comparing them, but it's just people when people talk about how we're missing Milton Williams and we shouldn't have let him go. Well, I mean, really, are we though? I mean,
That's my point. Like, how? What are you watching
yeah,
to where you see that? Is my
yeah,
question. Like, I haven't even seen that at all.
yeah. He's. I just wanted to shout him out because and even us too. Like, no one's really been talking about him. It seems that
Yeah,
much. He's just kind of quietly putting together a very good season. Um, and
dude, I guarantee you, offense
I want.
coordinators see it. Guarantee the offensive line coaches on
Oh,
opposing teams they see.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
They see it.
I wanna
Star Wars
take this
99,
one
I
from
appreciate you.
Star Wars. Yeah, 99. Thank.
CDS,
They
don't you
don't
dare say he played great, CDS. Don't do
Hurts
that.
did okay, but not
Don't do that.
great. I mean,
Don't
it
do
was a
that.
Hall of Fame game, but no. But here, no, no, no. but
Don't
no.
do
To be fair,
don't
because
do
I think
that.
I want to put it in context. Was he great? No, he missed some throws. But when we take a step back and you say 15 to 26, so almost 60%, not great, but that's not terrible. No interceptions, threw the huge touchdown, 183 yards. That's 7 yards per attempt. What I'm saying is he wasn't bad. He was good enough. He made plays when he needed to make plays, and that's what Jalen Hurts does, even on nights when he's not
All
great,
right.
because he
All
wasn't
right.
great.
So Star Wars is kind of right. He's kind of right. Star Wars is kind of right.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. A lot of people
Okay.
don't say that when it's Jalen
Okay.
Hurts, right?
So
Like you
salute
see
to
a
you,
lot of
Star Wars.
people out there talking
Appreciate
about
you.
how terrible he
Yeah,
was, and
dude,
that's
I'm
just not
actually
the case.
surprised that the media at least the
And his
clips that I've
numbers were
seen.
better than Jordan Love's, by
Yeah,
the way.
the clips that I've seen from ESPN and First Things First, I haven't really seen too much Jalen Hurts bashing. They're kind of focused on tearing down the Packers.
Yeah,
They're-
Rhodes is right. Rhodes, we were
oh
talking about that
it
right
was
at the
ugly.
beginning. Rhodes,
It
it
was
was a
ugly,
very
Rhodes.
ugly
It was
game.
ugly,
It
man.
was one of those two heavyweights going at it, and it was one of those games you need
It
to
was
win
ugly.
on your way. Like you're going to have those games where you're just not playing well, and you just kind of battle it out, and it's not high scoring, and you just got to make. The Eagles made a couple of
Yeah,
big plays. The Packers didn't.
Star Wars. I agree. I think he did okay. He did enough. The 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 fumble early hurt us because
It's crazy.
dude, that first drive we were doing whatever we wanted against the Packers defense on that first drive. Like everything we wanted to do on that first drive, we're converting third downs, we're moving the ball. I thought that play call was brilliant. The Hurts QB take. I thought that was a genius play call. I wasn't expecting it. Goes what 12, 14 yards. Good play by the defender because he didn't
I
try
was
to.
just gonna say, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not gonna blame Hurts on that fumble. You hate to see a fumble, but you watch that again, and man, that guy just
Yeah,
it was just perfect. He just punched that right out hard.
it
Like
was a good play.
it's a shame.
He literally comes up and fucking tees off on that shit.
I mean, he
But
got. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he got that was a knockout punch, man.
yeah,
He got
we
that like solid.
were definitely driving, but it almost now that I'm even talking about it, it kind of felt like the Cowboys game where that first half against the Cowboys we're doing what we want to do, and then that whole
And then it
second half
just
after the delay
yeah.
it just stops
We've seemed to have that problem. I mean, that's what happened a lot
against the
in
Buccaneers.
yeah. But what's funny, real quick, just to share this, just to show you how like crazy people have gotten over this. Uh, that play that you're talking about, which again, unfortunately, ended with that great play by the defender, but the play itself was fantastic. Actually, there was I saw where someone, obviously a Packers fan, put that play, posted that play and said that it was of course, this was all wrong too. That it was the first time all season long that an opponent had stopped the tush push. Like, wait, what? Like,
Uh,
it was a shotgun. It
the
was a
thing is,
quarterback run. He
yeah,
got a first
yeah.
down.
I saw that and I couldn't do the mental gymnastics in my head to make that
right,
make
right,
sense.
right.
I thought it was a shot in some way, but I couldn't put the pieces together in
It
my
was wild. It was wild. So,
mind.
Rhodes, if you're still here, you comment because we were kind of talking about this with young quarterbacks in general, and Love's been around a while now. He had even a rougher game than Hurts. Is Jordan Love going to take that next step? What do you think, Ben Daniel?
Is
Is
Jordan Love
Jordan
going to
like
take that? See, this is where I'm different. What's the next step? What is the next step? That you have a few guys that are guys. You have a guy that wins.
and
You have
is Jordan Love going to be that?
which one?
Is he a
Is he going to be
next
a guy?
quarterback?
like on Matt Stafford level,
I don't even know necessarily Matt Stafford, but in that,
like
and I
that.
don't know
That
what number you want to call it. But I don't know. Let's say top 8. Is he that guy? The Packers went Brett Favre for a long time, Aaron Rodgers for a long time. Is Jordan Love
top
ever going to be
8.
that next guy?
Let's
And how much time do you give him?
you. He's good enough to where you give him time. He's good enough to where you
Well,
get
it's year
he's on
5.
the Dak Prescott tier. He's him and Dak Prescott are the same tier to me. I think Dak is.
There we go. Rhodes is saying he's in the 12 to
I
18
think
area.
I
So
think
yeah,
Jordan
that's
Love
average.
is a little bit more elusive. But you got the Bills. I just pulled it up real quick. You got Josh Allen with the Bills. Josh Allen's better than him. Drake May with the Patriots. Drake May is better than him. Lamar. I'll take Lamar. I'll take Joe Burrow. I probably won't take Aaron Rodgers at this stage in his career. C.J. Stroud. Man, these guys. That's the thing. These guys
Well,
regressed
it's tough with some
tremendously.
of the young ones like C.J.
Yeah,
Stroud because you don't know if he's going to either. Like, is
yeah.
he
But
going to
him and
get
but they
better?
came in what, a year apart, 2 years apart. They're not. You know what I mean? They're not like that
Yeah,
different.
that's true. That's true.
Um,
But C.J. Stroud didn't get the benefit of
yeah,
sitting
yeah. You
and
take
learning.
Patrick Mahomes over. But CJ Stroud's rookie year is better than any year Jordan Love's ever put together.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
say
yeah, oh, yeah,
that. Yeah,
absolutely.
he's not better than Mahomes. He's not better than Herbert. Dude, I gotta be honest with you, man. And Rhodes, you might even like this year, Rhodes. I don't even know if he's better than Jackson Dart, dude. I don't know if he's better than
Oh,
Jackson Dart.
Rhodes will agree with
Yeah,
that
I don't know if
100%.
he's better than Jackson Dart. Um,
So I guess maybe we should
he
frame it.
hasn't even picked up a football yet. Is he even better than Kirk Cousins? Kirk Cousins is rotting away over there in Atlanta. Dude, Kirk
Yeah,
Cousins still has some juice.
he
He
does.
still has juice in his tank, and he's just rotting
Well,
away in
it's
Atlanta.
funny you said that because you
Yeah,
mentioned him and you said you wouldn't take Aaron Rodgers at this stage because I get it at his age. But the thing is, usually what a quarterback loses that gets him to retire, other than maybe they just don't feel like their body getting hit all the time. But in terms of what they can do, is arm strength.
yeah,
Aaron Rodgers still has one of the best arms in the NFL. Like just in terms of being able to sling it.
yeah. He's got arm strength in terms of zip. I don't think he has arm strength in terms of Jalen Hurts fielding a single from center field and throwing a guy out at home. I think he has arm strength as a third baseman catching a backhand at the hot corner and throwing it across
Well,
the diamond.
he just a few weeks ago threw the longest ball in the NFL in I don't even remember how long. It was like 70 yards in the air, man.
Yeah, CDS. I'll stick with my assumption. I'll stick with what I'm saying. He's got more zip than he does bomb from
Let's see.
deep right.
We
We
can't
can't
forget Jordan
forget
Love
Jordan
going
Love.
into Dallas and destroying that. That is true. That is true
Yeah.
because that was actually going to be my next question, Rose, and how I was going to frame it to Ben here is if your goal is a Super Bowl, and it should be for all of them, but some franchises are just in the desert. The Packers, if they're putting the pieces in place, are you saying Jordan Love is or is not a guy that can win a
No,
Super Bowl?
no, no, no.
So even at this point, with him being in year 5, if there is someone in a draft that you think could be better in a few years, do you take them? I know we kind of went in the weeds, but we
No.
were talking quarterbacks for so long before we got on here. It's an
Yeah,
interesting.
see, yes, that's the thing, man. There are so few quarterbacks that I look at saying that guy can win a Super Bowl. The- yeah, I don't see it with Jordan Love. I don't see it. I don't see it
Well,
with,
and it's interesting to that point because then you've got guys like
especially in this era, because Jordan Love will be the main guy. That's the thing right here. These quarterbacks, outside of a few, they need to establish a solid run game, like a solid running
and
back.
why, yeah, and
They can't just be the guy. Even with Stafford that year, yeah, he was the guy. Who did they have after Todd Gurley? They had somebody as well after Todd Gurley that can run the ball. What was it, Cam Akers, I believe, for a couple
oh
of
no,
years there?
I know who you're talking about, and I can't think of his name.
After Todd Gurley, right? After Todd
Yeah,
Gurley,
yeah, yeah,
before Cam
yeah.
Akers, they had somebody that you hand them the ball and
But
they're gonna run the
like one
ball
or
for
two
you.
like huge years, but you know, uh,
That's my point, though, Star Wars.
so
Like Hertz has pieces in place. Like he's always had a solid running game to a degree. It's never just been here, sling the
Well,
ball 35, 40 times. They're going to ask Jordan Love to sling the ball 35, 40 times. Even last night, Josh Jacobs, I mean, he wasn't running all over the place, but he ran better than
Jalen Hurts.
Saquon, and Jordan Love still threw the ball nearly
To
40
be
times.
fair, Jalen Hurts sort of made the Eagles' running game. And what I mean is, if you look at the top rusher for the Eagles, before Jalen Hurts became the starter, and then when Jalen Hurts became the starter, and the numbers they put up improved dramatically with Jalen Hurts, and that's because of the threat that Jalen Hurts brings as a runner and the RPO and all of that. So he added to that. And what I was getting at before we went to there in asking you is it's such an interesting question because you talk about you think there's so few guys that can win a Super Bowl, which I mean I get it and I agree in general. But then we look at some guys that we put in that top tier. And when I say we, general consensus, not necessarily you and me. Josh Allen doesn't have. Josh Allen hasn't been to a Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson doesn't have. These are the elite guys.
Yeah, I know.
Can they?
Now, this is where we get to what we talked about earlier, dude. Never in my life will I ever say you're going to win a Super Bowl with a running
No, not
quarterback.
going to. But who in the NFL do you look at and say that's a quarterback with the talent that can put a team on their shoulders and win a Super Bowl? Not
Put
that
a
they
team
will.
on their shoulders?
Dude, well, the reason I say it like that is because, to your point, going back to the running game thing, you talk about quarterbacks that need running games, and I agree with you, but that's been part of the problem and it's why the Eagles got Saquon Barkley, because the philosophy in the NFL these days is to throw it all over the field because of the way the rules are. And no one wanted to spend that kind of money on a running back that the Eagles gave Barkley. And then guess what? It paid off. So now you have other teams like, well, you know what? Maybe running's not a bad
Man,
idea.
put a team on their shoulders. So we're saying without a top what running game?
Yeah, I mean, to a degree, maybe, not
No,
like
that's the thing, Rhodes. That's the thing. Jalen Hurts is a quarterback that can run. He's not a running quarterback. He's a quarterback that can
true
run.
Star Wars. Yeah, sorry,
Jalen
Brandon.
Hurts is
What
a
was it?
quarterback that can run. Lamar Jackson's a running quarterback. Jordan Love is a quarterback that can run. Dak Prescott is
Yeah.
a quarterback that can run. Jalen Hurts isn't a running quarterback. If you're comparing a quarterback to Michael Vick, you're a running quarterback. If that's the first comparison, you're a running quarterback.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I hear exactly what you're saying. I'm just trying to find. I mean, I guess there's no really way to define that. I guess it's just kind of how you feel about how you see a player play. Because, like to that point, I would have called when he was at his peak and he really had like one great year, and then I think defenses adjusted, and the reason they adjusted is because I think Colin Kaepernick was a running quarterback, a rocket arm, but a running quarterback.
I would throw
And then when
Colin.
teams adjusted, he
I would put
wasn't a good
Kaepernick in
enough
the running
quarterback
quarterback realm as
to
well.
continue. I think Lamar
Yes.
Jackson's a better passer than Kaepernick was, but yeah, his core thing is he's a running quarterback.
Yep. That's exactly what I would say.
But to be fair, I will agree with Rhodes. I don't know if I should. Yeah, I would agree with Rhodes on that in terms of, yeah, you might not say Jalen's a running quarterback. He's a quarterback that can run, but I definitely would. Well, the only other person I would put in that category, really, that I guess that won a Super Bowl, guys, would be Steve Young.
Oh,
That
wait,
just
hold up,
was
hold up,
was
hold up.
such a phenomenal runner, but obviously was a guy who could throw the ball all over the field.
So Russell Wilson
So
wasn't
yeah,
that.
what's that?
Russell Wilson wouldn't fall into the category as Jalen Hurts does.
I don't know that he's the runner that Jalen Hurts is. You know what? Honestly, I would have to go back and look at him
Yeah.
earlier in his career because obviously when he gets older, he wasn't really. But yeah, he did run. I'd have to go back and watch some
See,
film.
the thing is with when it comes to Lamar Jackson, this this might be his issue is that he's trying to prove that he's a quarterback that can run. That's the thing. That might be the biggest downfall of Lamar Jackson. They get to the playoffs and he tries to prove
And
that he can throw the ball. Dude,
yeah,
you can't.
and you know who else? And you know who else did that?
You can't throw the ball.
Yeah, you know who else did that, and it cost his team? Donovan McNabb, who even said it himself for certain reasons with him playing that position. He didn't want to be known as a running quarterback, so he actually, as his career went on, he purposely ran less, even when there were times that he should have run because he didn't want to be a running quarterback.
Now, CDS, to your previous question, I just looked at some of the old Super Bowl winners
Yeah.
from the
Oh,
last few years.
Russell Wilson, you mean? or just
No,
who
no,
the
no, no.
guys were?
To who the guys were that I think can win
Oh yeah,
that I
okay,
think can win a
okay,
Super Bowl.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
The thing with Wilson, I mean, that defense was so legendary. I don't see a legendary defense in the league like that right now. So I
Yeah,
can't even,
that's
you know what
true,
I mean?
man. 100%.
Um, you'd have to probably go back, and I mean, this was a solid defense too, but to Joe Flacco probably. There's like a Joe Flacco having like somebody having the type of run that Joe Flacco had, that just propels them through the playoffs to the World Series. Because I'm to the World Series
Yeah,
to the Super Bowl. Because you're seeing Tom Brady, you're seeing Mahomes, you're seeing Stafford, and you're seeing Hurts.
right.
You're not really seeing anybody else.
Yeah,
Can Joe Burrow stay upright? That would be a guy that I could say I see that.
yes,
Is he going to stay
yeah. I think
upright?
Burrow could win one.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
true.
Is he going to stay upright? Um, I think Josh Allen could do it too, but I need to see you beat Mahomes in the playoffs before I really give you that.
I get
Um,
that. I get that. Hold on, I want to catch Rose because he's got a longer one here. It's following up before we get too far past it. About the remember Steve Young has evolved into arguably the most elite pass. Well, and that's my point, Rose. Like I didn't mean that to diss his passing. Steve Young was a phenomenal traditional quarterback, but he was also one of the best runners at that position ever. I mean, I think a lot, it's funny that now that he came up when we were kind of talking about this because it just hit me that no one really talks about him anymore when they start talking about great quarterbacks. And Steve Young was incredible. Um, but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call him a running quarterback, although he probably was as good a runner as almost any quarterback who did run.
yeah, then I see like Peyton Manning in here,
Yeah,
Ben Roethlisberger in here. That would probably be the closest Josh Allen. Josh Allen gets a pretty good defense, gets some guys that Roethlisberger had, and like I don't want to completely write out Josh Allen because I think he's good enough to do it. Like I think he's able to do that. But we'll have to see. Now that we're done with the Packers and their Go Pack Go BS, on to the next target. These boys have been complaining since they couldn't meet us in the NFC Championship game last year. Yeah, see, yes, I said this last time, right? We had 3 games: the Packers, the Lions, the Cowboys. I said
yeah,
this Lions game. If there's any game we lose,
it's
this
that
Lions
one.
game
Yeah,
is the
yeah,
game that we lose. If there's any game that we lose, now we are at home, and the difference between us and the Lions, they play in a dome,
yeah.
right? We're
If we
at home
lose
and they
to
play in a dome.
Yeah, if we lose to the Lions, that makes the Cowboys game huge, which makes things interesting, being
Yeah,
that they're the Cowboys.
absolutely,
Uh, because
absolutely.
let's face it, not that there aren't blowouts from here to there, and anyone who's involved in that type of rivalry gets this. Records mean nothing when you get into those types of
Oh
games,
yeah, 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 yeah.
you
Just
know.
ask the Bills.
So
Just got shit beat
yeah,
down the leg by the Dolphins.
right, right. Oh
Yeah,
man,
yeah,
yeah. It's amazing that Josh is treated differently, man. I was just going to say it amazes me that was completely glossed over. If that were Jalen Hurts, are you kidding me?
they still be talking
Against the
about it today.
Dolphins,
Yeah,
the freaking Dolphins. Holy! I mean, that was and oh yeah, that was bad. Okay, we don't even get started on that. But yeah, we got so you're saying after 11 games, you're saying we're going to be 8-3. Is that what you're saying? We split the next two.
yeah. Between the Dolphins, between the Cowboys and the Lions, yeah. I don't think we're gonna lose to the
Yeah,
Cowboys.
I
Uh,
was what I will say about this Eagles team is that I haven't with everything that's going on with them, I haven't figured them out yet. And what I mean is if they went and next week and beat Detroit by 30 or they went and lost to Detroit by 30, I wouldn't be surprised either way.
they got to put together a complete game from start to finish
Yeah,
against a good
exactly.
team.
Yes.
Against a good team, not against the
Yeah.
fucking Vikings, not against the Giants. Like against a good team, start to finish. The Eagles got to put it together. Not 2 quarters and then fall off in the second half. Not have one good quarter, jump out to a lead, and then fall off the final. No, from
Right.
start to finish. Prove that you can beat a team from start to finish. That's quality. That's all I'm
Um,
asking. Because dude, it took a
I
miracle to beat the Rams. Like
yeah.
who
But
blocks multiple extra points in the game? Like, come on,
yeah.
come on.
We'll see. And that's what's interesting. But to Rose's point, real quick, yeah, I mean, I think look, Josh Allen has the ability as a quarterback to win a Super Bowl. It's just the fact that guys like him haven't, or other guys have gone whole careers and haven't, just shows you how difficult it really is and how everything has to fall into place. But he's absolutely a guy that should be able to win a Super Bowl. To your point, Ben, because I agree with that. Like, think about that. All the things we've talked about that are issues. The biggest one, I think, being what you said, although I think it comes from all those other things, is they really haven't. I mean, even the Vikings, they haven't put together a complete game, right? And yet, even though they haven't done that, they beat that. Yeah, it was a massive comeback, but they beat that Rams team. But here's the other thing: they went into Kansas City and beat the Chiefs. They went into Tampa Bay and beat the Buccaneers. They went into Lambeau Field on a Monday night and beat the Packers.
Yeah,
Right?
I
Like,
hear you.
despite all of that, those are
Uh,
all those. I just named four teams that people are saying are four of the favorite teams for winning
yeah,
the Super Bowl.
yeah. I hear you, CDS. I
You
hear
know,
you, man.
and I mean, I'm with you. Like, I get it, and it's an Eagles fan thing. I'm looking at how they're playing and this and that. It's like, oh man, I don't know. We just seem to be, I don't know, pulling them out somehow. But then you step back and you go, yeah, look, okay, look at the teams I just named. Three of them. You don't go into Kansas City often and beat a team, especially considering we just whipped them 40-6 in the Super Bowl. Yes, I did say 40-6 because those last two touchdowns didn't count. We had already stopped playing. We were celebrating, having some beers. Uh, that was a huge. They may say it was just a regular season game, but that was a huge game for the
Yeah,
Kansas City
but all
Chiefs.
those games you named, I probably feel the best about the Chiefs game of all the games that you named.
Yeah. Well, then that's what I mean. It's like it depends on how you want to look at it, because in a way that's kind of my point. We really shouldn't feel great about any of those games, and yet we won all of them.
Mm. Yeah,
I mean, do you really? Everyone talks about Jalen Hurts last year because of Saquon Barkley, even though we obviously went to the Super Bowl 2 years before that and everything. But again, the running game has been good once in 9 games. Okay, Jalen Hurts isn't getting help from the running game this year. It's actually been bad. The running game has been bad, and yet 7-2. Oh, by the way, here's another quarterback. Not to go down that route, but it just hit me because Rhodes being here, a guy who's playing well, and the other guy may not get back on the field is Mac Jones in San Francisco. Like, sometimes it just takes the right place, the right system, the right coach, and get that opportunity. You're studying something. What are you
yeah.
studying?
I was trying to see what our turnovers are looking like. Like, I mean, we only have 5 interceptions on the season. Like, I'm trying to see what the reason is we're winning these games. Like, you, you know what I mean? Because our running game isn't, and then and like, I mean, our defense is playing good, but our defense isn't really getting tons of takeaways. So
No, yeah, that's true. We're not getting. I mean, luckily, we're not turning the ball over either. We're not getting
now here we go. Now
a ton
Rhodes
of
isn't gonna
takeaways.
like this. Rhodes isn't gonna like this either.
Uh,
Mac Jones, Brock Purdy, they ain't winning Super Bowls.
I
I
think
don't,
Rose likes Mac Jones.
yeah, man, either of them. I don't see him winning a Super Bowl.
Here's the thing with that though, and here's my example for that,
I
and
don't get
and
it.
I know a lot of people may disagree because of the Super Bowls. However, I think, and this is why you say you never know, and it's just the timing and all these other things. I think Eli Manning was a very average NFL quarterback. The New York Giants got on an insane roll, unbelievably hot at the exact right time of the season, twice in his long career, and they resulted in Super Bowl championships. But you take those out and you look at his numbers, and again, they're also kind of inflated because, like you said, Ben, the way the game is nowadays and throwing it all over the field and all that. Eli Manning is an average quarterback.
Hmm.
By the way, just kind of like Joe Namath was a very average quarterback.
Yeah, I think I mean
You know,
the legend of Joe Namath is better than the quarterback Joe
oh,
Namath.
absolutely, it is absolutely. But there's an example, right? He got that opportunity at the right time. He said the right thing, and he will forever be known. Uh, but my point being is like these guys that we look at and say, "Ah, that's not a Super Bowl winning quarterback." Yeah, Eli Manning was. Trent Dilfer was.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
but
and
no
that's what I mean about you need all these other
I
things
know,
that
but
have to happen.
that goes to my point though, because like we're using an outlier as like the rule here. It's like look, like
No,
those
I'm not.
are outlier guys.
Yeah, I'm not
You know what
using
I
it
mean?
as
It's like, oh well, because Trent
right. But
Dilfer
then,
did Mac Jones, kind of like, dude, Trent Dilfer had a legendary defense.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like Russell Wilson had a legendary defense.
yeah, there are no legendary defenses now, and I think a lot of that is also the rules. Like I don't think you can have a legendary defense. You can have good defenses, but relative to history, it's just the way the rules are with these guys. It's like, I mean, even just simply a cornerback covering a wide receiver. Go back and look at like even the early 2000s, but 80s, 90s,
Yeah.
and look at what they did versus what they're allowed to do now. Oh my goodness! I think of some of the receivers back in the day. Jerry Rice would be having 2,500-yard seasons nowadays, man.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the only average-ish quarterback, maybe slightly above average quarterback in the last 10 years is Nick Foles.
Is who?
Nick Foles.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
Um,
that's like that. Like I'm looking at these names here. You know, I'm looking at the names
right,
here,
right.
and it's like the names aren't just like. There's a reason why there's not a Philip Rivers on this list. You know, like
Yeah,
he's a good, very good quarterback, especially in that time. But there's a reason why they're not on the list. There's reasons for these things.
that's true. I will say that Rhodes 49ers have had a lot of injuries, but again, I think you know our most important thing has probably been our offensive line, and we've had a lot of injuries
Oh
there.
yeah,
But
dude, come on, our offensive line. I mean, our
it's been,
defensive line. I mean,
yep. Uh, but Nick Foles is really,
yeah, we're
I
talking.
mean,
Those are
obviously
defensive.
forever a legend.
Those are
He's
defenses.
re- he's really interesting to me because I think, and I get it why he left. He was right to leave. I think all the Eagles fans supported it because he deserved an opportunity to start somewhere. And then he goes and he gets hurt, and it just never he never really got any sustained starting time any place to establish himself.
Mhm.
And yet, and I don't know how, I'm sure people do know this, but it's just not talked about that much because of how good he was in the Super Bowl. But also, people forget that the one season, what was it 3 or 4 years before the Super Bowl, 3 or 4, where he started 10 games, right? Injuries, and he started the last 10 games of the season. And in those 10 games, the man threw 27 touchdown passes against only 2 interceptions, set an NFL record with 7 TD passes in one game against the Raiders. I mean, it's not like he only did it in the, you know what I mean? Like he did have some sustained success for, more than a game or two. And
Okay.
I wish he had gotten that opportunity to be healthy somewhere for a year. It just never happened for him. But
Yeah.
again, it goes back to how difficult, so many things have to go right. It's more than talent.
Yeah, like this might be the year where a new name gets on that list. Like
Brad Johnson, I forgot about him.
this might be the year that a new name. Yeah, but we're talking about Warren Sapp. Like we're talking about McFarland. We're talking about Simeon Rice. We're talking about Rondé Barber Jr. We're talking about John Lynch. We're talking about like one of the best defenses. Like all these names have solid defenses, like really, really good defenses, not middle of the road defenses here. Even the Super Bowl that Peyton Manning won with the Broncos, the defense won that Super Bowl for him.
Oh yeah, well, since we're sticking with the Broncos, I mean, when John Elway finally won Super Bowls, you had a guy named Terrell Davis, running for 2,000 yards, right?
Yeah.
But no one says that when it's John Elway. They say that when it's Jalen Hurts. Oh, or they got that running back.
Yeah, no, I think this year could be a name where you see somebody else on that list. If it's not Jalen Hurts on that list, dude, I'll tell you this right now, and I'm gonna say this right now. If it's not Jalen Hurts, if it's not Patrick Mahomes, to be fair, CDS, I think it's gonna be Matt Stafford again.
It
If
very
it's
well
not,
could be. They're,
if it's
they,
not,
they
it
are
might be.
playing extremely
Yeah,
well.
Josh Allen might get there. He might get there,
Yeah.
but I think it's going to be Matt Stafford again. Like that,
He is probably, yeah, if
man.
it's not Holmes or Hurts, he's probably the most accomplished quarterback out there. And they're playing extremely well. And that's what's, unfortunately for us as Eagles fans, kind of interesting if you take the league as a whole is I don't know, man. I mean, there's a lot of teams sitting, 6-3, 5-4, that if they're playing like those, if they're playing well at the end of the season, in the AFC too. I mean, the Chiefs aren't a given. In fact, would they even make the playoffs if the season ended right now?
Let me take a look.
I know they're close, like they're kind because they had that rough start, but they're borderline, I think. Although this now it's 7 teams.
Nope, they're out right now. They would be out right now.
Oh, and by the way, there's
And the
another guy.
Jaguars. And the
Since
Jags.
Rhodes mentions Joe Flacco, there's another guy. You know that Super Bowl year for Joe Flacco, he had a stretch of at the end of the season, including the playoffs, he had a stretch of 6 games with a passer rating, 6 in a row, passer rating over 100, which had never happened before or after in his career. Signed a massive, massive contract and was never really that good again after that Super Bowl run.
Hmm. Hmm.
You know what I mean? It's just because again, to your point, you wouldn't look at Joe Flacco
Now
at
we
his
go to that
career
Joe
and be like
Flacco point. Guess who he was going up against? A running
quarter.
quarterback. Yeah, we go full circle right here.
But
A running quarterback. It is what it is. Yeah, no, the Chiefs are on the bubble. The Chiefs are on the bubble. 5-4, right behind the Jaguars. I mean, the Jaguars, dude. Travis Hunter already injured. I mean, I know we're not even talking about
yeah, I
that.
know. I
Already
saw
injured
that. That
out for the
stinks, man.
season. Out for the season. I mean, I'm sure we both weigh more than him. I don't even know how much you weigh. I'm sure we both weigh more than Travis Hunter right now.
Yeah, and Travis Hunter playing
That's crazy.
offense and defense.
Dude, CDS, I should never weigh more than an NFL player, dude. I should never weigh more than
No,
an NFL player ever.
you know what's crazy to that is I've stood next to Brian Dawkins,
Gosh.
right? And I mean, just intuitively, we know that he's a big guy, but when you look at
Yeah,
him playing out there in the NFL, he
yeah,
doesn't look like a. But that's kind of my point that you're making, and I'm backing up is Brian Dawkins is a big
yeah,
guy, but he doesn't look like a big guy on an NFL field.
yeah. It's oh man, but yeah, I think
But
it's. I think the only competition for the Eagles is the Rams. Like I wouldn't even. I would feel good enough. Like I would feel good enough going up against anybody in the playoffs except for the Rams. Like that. That's a game where we need to play our best game. We need to play our best
yes,
game against the Rams in the playoffs to beat them.
yeah, and they obviously have added incentive because we just keep beating them up to
Yeah,
this point.
yeah. Like that would
But
that would be the team where I look at. That's our competition.
you know what? I just thought of something. To your point, because we were talking a lot about the running game and how bad it's been, and this and that, and I think it was, I think it might have been the last game when they actually were very productive. I think there was at least one or maybe a couple of plays where instead of that second tight end, because Calcaterra can't block to save his life, we had, I believe, Fred
Another lineman.
Johnson out there
Yep.
as a sixth lineman
Mm-hmm.
that was
Mm-hmm.
very, very
They
effective.
did that last night.
When they did,
Yeah, I remember Troy Aikman saying that. There's Philadelphia bringing in the sixth lineman. Yeah, no, they definitely did it last night.
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
But because they got to get the running, and they also have to stop tipping it. That's been a problem as well. But yeah, man, they've got some stuff they've got to clean up for sure.
yeah. Give it to Tank Bigsby. Give him the ball. Stop. Dude, see, guys, I'm telling you right. I don't know how many more games of Saquon playing like trash before I come here in one of these post games and start frying it. I don't know how many more of these
Well,
games
I've
I
said,
got.
look, there is blame to go around for sure, but it's also a lot on him. I mean, there's
Yeah,
absolutely he is not running the ball well. He simply isn't. It's harder because we also have some other issues, but he's not running it well. And one thing I'd like to point out that in terms of the play calling is not even just the plays themselves. I think like a lot of the plays themselves are bad plays, the play design. However, the other thing too is also the sequencing of the plays. And the best way I can explain it, because it was legendary even here and preparation, the whole bye week thing and after, but Andy Reid, the scripted plays, right? Because it wasn't just here are the 15 plays. There was a purpose and a sequence, and there was a reason this play came after that play, and that play came after this play, and this play came before the next play. And I do not see that with this Eagles offense at all. It's just sort of like, oh, well,
You know
let's
what?
run this. Oh,
That's a
let's
great.
run this.
Yes, that's a great point, and I don't even I must have forgot. I either forgot or I just my head's somewhere else. The fact that our offense looked that pedestrian off of bye week,
Yeah,
man,
that's
I'm sure you can feel it, dude. I'm running out of patience
yeah.
for the.
Yeah.
For,
Oh, I get it.
I am running out of patience, dude.
Eagles fans aren't known for their patience anyway,
Oh
so
shit, dude. Because we're coming off a bye week, and you know what? That's probably why that first series looked as good as it looked.
yeah.
That's probably why the first series looked as good as it looked because that was the only scripted thing that we had. That's the only
Right.
on time that we
And
had.
then when it gets long enough, further along into the game, Kevin doesn't have the ability because he's never done it before to continue to sequence plays. It's just sort of, well, let's run this. Well, let's run this. Let's try this. And there's no thought, it seems, to the process of how is the play before set up the next play.
Yeah,
It's just let's run this.
yeah,
And without any thought to what went before and why it might or might not work because of what went before.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Like a fighter trying to keep somebody's hands down, focusing on the
yeah,
body so you can start going to the head. Yeah,
those are train wrecks for everyone. It seems like lately, Rhodes, man. I'll never understand going to the Jets voluntarily, but Rodgers did the same thing, and that was an absolute disaster.
wasn't Flacco already on the Jets a couple years ago?
Well, that's what he's saying. He's saying just going to the Jets
Yeah.
was
Oh,
then.
oh,
That's
oh,
what he's
oh,
talking
oh,
about.
oh,
Yeah.
oh.
When he did go to the Jets, one. Did you see this?
Yeah. One of
One
my
of,
legs. Yeah.
one of my legs outweighs Travis Hunter. Oh man, that's not good for an NFL player, man.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it was the QB sneak. I like that play, and then the only other play that I thought was creative was lining Saquon up at fullback. I like that play. Other than that, nothing last night really made me so excited about this offense. Because to your point, it looked exactly how it looked the first few weeks. It looked exactly how it looks
Yeah,
coming after the first 3 quarters of the Rams game. It looked exactly how it looked the second half of the Bucks game. It looked exactly how it looked
yep.
the entire Denver Broncos game. It looked exactly how it looked. It just looked bad.
Yeah, it
And
looked
we're
bad.
and we're and we're
Go
at
ahead.
the point. I know that we won those games. I know that we won those games, but we're at the point to where it's week. We're going into week 10, right?
Well, yeah, week 11 because we had the bye, but yeah, game 10.
Okay. Okay. We're at the point where we're going into week 11, game 10, and it doesn't seem like we've really figured any of it out.
No, well, that goes to kind of what we were just saying, how the play design in college, just like, oh, let's try this, let's try that, and that made me think while you're saying that. The other thing, if you, I wish I could get access to the film that I want instead of just finding things that like, oh, that fits what I'm talking about. Because I'd love to give an example of this, and this goes back to also a little bit what I was saying with AJ Brown in terms of the play design and how routes from certain receivers free up other receivers. And a great example of that, if you watched last night, whenever the Packers play zone, and this again also to me goes to what people say, oh well, Jalen can't throw against the zone. Well, if you watch the routes run against zones, we don't make the defense make any decisions with the way we run routes against zone. There is no conflict for those guys of should I go with this receiver or should I go with that receiver? They just basically cover their area and they match up with the guys who enter it. And there's no pressure put on by the Eagles and the routes run by the receivers that make the defenders make a decision.
Let me say this, and this is going to be my. We've gone 58 minutes. I haven't critiqued AJ Brown yet. Give me some credit here. Can I get some credit? Can I get some credit here?
I'm going to mute my mic.
This is the thing right here. CDS. It's going to be quick. Because to your point with the zone, Why? How come Devontae Smith is smart enough to just give up on his route and find the soft space in his zone? Meanwhile, AJ Brown's just going through the motions running his route.
That's a part of the problem. And that goes to kind of what I was saying before. I think it was before we got on with Justin Jefferson doing a lot of the same thing.
It's like
I
Smith
said,
sees it. Okay. Oh, wow. There's open space here. I'm supposed to keep going, but let me stop here and give Jalen a nice target so he can convert. Meanwhile, AJ Brown's running the same route, the same concept.
you
Oh,
want to
that's where the zone's at. Oh well, my route's telling me to go here, so I'm just gonna
you want a
just
great example of that for everyone to see that actually was successful, and it was successful from Jalen Hurts, and that was the first drive and the first touchdown against the Vikings. When on that fourth down, and AJ Brown, I'm guessing the play wasn't designed for him. He goes out and runs this little short route, and he just basically stands there hugging the cornerback out on the left. And then Jalen Hurts is like, "Hey man, go deep, go deep, go deep. There's no one behind you." And AJ Brown goes. Well, that's the type of thing AJ Brown, when Jalen rolled out a little bit, AJ Brown should have been doing on his own.
yes.
Yeah, that's part of the problem.
It's like
AJ does
almost like
not
a
seem
defeatist mentality. Like
AJ's not getting open. That's
yeah,
what I'm saying.
yeah,
Like
dude. Yesterday I saw Will Shipley. I saw Will Shipley. What was it? A third down? Where I mean that was a good pass by Jalen Hurts throwing him open. It's like guys, Will Shipley runs a quick little flag route. Sees Jalen Hurts scrambling out, and what does Will Shipley do? He follows the
that's
man.
another thing. And see, that's what I'm saying. As a team, and you mentioned Devontae Smith being good at it, but as a team, that's another thing. We don't seem very good in the scramble plays. And Tom Brady talks about it
Accurate
all the time
football.
whenever I see him about what receivers should be doing. Eagles receivers don't seem to do it. Jalen Hurts gets out of the pocket and he's looking to throw, not run, and nobody does anything to get open. And just one quick thing on that, because you mentioned it about him throwing Will Shipley open, right? That's something that people always say Jalen Hurts can't do.
Man,
But yeah, I think AJ Brown is. I think he look. Obviously, we've talked about it a lot. The play calling and all of that has been really bad. But just like with Saquon Barkley, AJ Brown also has some of this on his shoulders, and that he's not doing what he needs to
yeah,
do to get open.
he's got to shoulder some of that blame.
Right? He's got to shoulder some of that blame, and he doesn't seem willing to be able to do so.
No, he doesn't. Especially that 4th and 6. We didn't even talk about the 4th and 6. I mean, it's not a great throw, but if you want to make it a catchable ball, it's a catchable ball.
Well, that's it. It was a catchable ball.
Yeah,
Would he have caught it? We don't know because he didn't try, but it was
if
catchable.
if you want exactly, say that again.
And
Say that again. Say that again.
he may not have caught that ball, but that was a catchable ball, and he didn't even try for it.
He didn't even try,
Didn't even try.
dude.
And
This is the
yeah,
thing. Devontae Smith's he's coming down with it. I'm not even gonna say he didn't. I'm not even gonna say he's gonna try. He's coming down with that. He seems like he comes down with these passes. Dude, Devontae
dude,
Smith comes down with these weird ass fucking going up to the climbing the ladder, coming
and
down,
he's not tall.
contorting his body like
Dotson comes down with it too. We figured out.
bro. You're pissing me off, man.
And one other thing, since we're really getting into this passing game
And
stuff,
you're gonna
and
act like
it goes
Tebow.
back to play
Still coming
calling
down.
and adjusting. Why didn't, because if you watch that game again, why didn't the Eagles? It doesn't matter if it's complete, right? And this, well, I mean, it does, but this is what I mean again about sequencing and setting up plays. Why didn't the Eagles throw deep earlier in the game? Because the Packers were sitting on the shorter routes. They didn't feel like they were going to be threatened deep, so they sat on the short stuff, which of course makes it tough to throw the short stuff, and we didn't throw long to back them up.
Yeah, it was bad.
Like, yeah, exactly. Throw the hands up, right? Like,
It was
what are we
bad.
what are we doing here? Kevin Patullo, what are we doing, Kevin
It
Patullo?
just wasn't good. It wasn't
Like,
good.
what's going on, my man? Rhodes fell asleep. I think he's getting up there. It's getting late in the evening.
Once it
Um,
starts getting dark,
oh
it's
man, dude, what is sunset for us now? It's like it's four something now, isn't it? It's like before 5 o'clock now
yeah. We're at 4:30,
when the
4:45
sun
right
starts
now.
setting. Absolutely
Yeah,
wild. But yeah, it's I don't know, man. It's just, I mean, we could go on the play calling a lot. I mean, again, it also seems like there's a lot of times where we don't put more than three guys out in the pass route. Now I get it. Sometimes max protect and all that, but we seem to rarely put out more than 3 guys and they're comfortably covered. That kind of goes back to like what I was saying with the zone. We don't do anything design wise to threaten any of these guys with the zone where they have to make a decision. If you're going against zone, you've got to make those guys make a decision in who they cover, not just every single one of them's like, oh, well, there's the guy in my area. Okay, I'm just going to hang here with him. Threaten them with something else. And that's how you get up. Again, it goes back to what I said with A.J. Brown. Designed routes where the other guys affect the player covering A.J. Or, it doesn't have to be A.J., but I'm just saying.
What are your point, A.J.? Get open, dude. Like, get open. Right, well, yeah. Right. Fuck the routes. Well, fuck the routes. Get the fuck open, bro. Get open.
Well, but to that point.
Put the same effort that Devontae Smith puts in. Get the fuck open, dude. He gets the same routes that you get. It's not like your routes are only for you. The same post route you get, Devontae Smith will get the same post route. But instead of quitting, he's not going to quit. He's going to find a hole and sink in that hole.
Well, and that goes back to what you just said. He's going to go
up and grab a touchdown pass.
That goes back to what you just said about that long ball that he, and I think I said this before we got on live. I think that ball was purposely underthrown from Jalen Hurts for that reason, just like he did with Dotson, just like he's done with Smith at times. And A.J. Brown made zero effort whatsoever to go over the top and catch that ball.
It could have been. It could have been. To me, it looked like a bad throw. You got to throw on the outside shoulder. To me. But again, that's the thing, CDS. Not every throw is going to be a great throw. That's why you get a great receiver.
Right.
To make up for those.
He should be helping.
It's like, dude, that's what it is, CDS. Let's say he is expecting it outside shoulder, right? He is expecting it outside shoulder. Oh, there it is. Not on my outside shoulder. Fuck it. And he quits on the play.
Right. But also what's crazy is he was body-wise, he was turned inside in that even if he was expecting that outside shoulder, it would have been very easy for him to stop and go up to get that ball.
No, it would have been easy. It definitely would have been easy.
Yeah. It's not like the way he was in the position he was in made it impossible for him to come back and go get that ball.
Both of them are culpable for that, but only one of them didn't try to make a play.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Jalen Hurts, not the best throw, but only one of those two decided not to attempt to turn it into something.
Yeah, 100%. It's wild, but we got it. We'll take a step back and try and close up with positive. Hey, man, we're 7-2. We've beaten 4 teams that people have talked about have chances at the Super Bowl. We got a lot of things we need to improve, but better to have to improve them being 7-2 and beating those teams and being like 3-6 or 4-5.
Yeah, I mean, you could be like the Chiefs losing the close games.
Well, that's it.
That's the difference right there. That's the difference.
We could easily be 3-6 right now.
In one possession games, I believe.
Yeah,
6-1 in one possession games. So you're gonna need that, but also CDS. I hope we're not just blowing our load now.
Right.
So when it comes to the playoffs,
that's it. When it's like baseball with 1-run games, right? If you have an insanely good record, it's like you're really flirting with disaster, man. It's like, okay, it's great because we've shown the ability we can win close games. But then the other thing is, it just takes one little change, a ball bouncing the wrong way, a deflect, and we lose those games.
Yeah, but
and I don't want to lose those games, especially when it becomes playoff time.
I mean, but I think Jalen Phillips is huge, man. Was Michael Carter playing yesterday? Like, I didn't see nor hear from him yesterday.
I didn't hear what's all I can think is
dude. I saw more Jackson yesterday than I feel like I saw a Carter jersey.
Yeah, Adoree was out. Adoree didn't play badly yesterday.
I'm not saying he did, but I'm saying.
Oh, I know.
Fuck, did we get Michael Carter for if I'm not even seeing him on the field?
Yeah, it's like
Quinny Mitchell went down in the first quarter, and all right, Adoree, get in there. And Michael Carter's like, wait.
Right.
I'm available.
Right. Well, yeah, maybe they just figured it. They weren't ready to have that happen. The only thing I can say though is if he did play, I honestly can't remember. But let's say he was out there. If a cornerback is playing and you don't hear his name, that's okay, right? If a defensive lineman's playing and you don't hear his name, that's bad.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I mean, I just didn't even see his jersey. That's the thing. I
right, but I know what you're saying. I don't think he played much. Now this is going to bother me. I'm going to have to find.
I didn't even see his jersey.
Yeah, I don't think.
Even after we stopped the run, I
Yeah,
saw Dory Jack, like I saw number 8
right,
there,
right, right.
like I saw something.
Yeah,
But I'm like,
I hear
wait,
you, man.
this guy even playing? I'm seeing Reed Blankenship. I'm like, wait, where? Did we just trade for somebody? All right, whatever, whatever. We'll see. We'll see.
I don't know,
I
man.
mean, we'll see next week because the Lions have a legit wide receiver, and I'm on Ross St. Brown. They got a legit
Oh
guy,
yeah. Hey, 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 hey. It'll be. We'll see if he plays
dude. I don't know about you, but my
because.
heart stopped for a second seeing Quentin Mitchell fucking down on the field in that first quarter.
Oh yeah, yeah. Don't even
Just like
go
that, I
there.
saw. I don't want to put it all on
But
his shoulders, but just like that, I saw our Super Bowl go up in smokes.
yeah. Before you even get on that though, to go back for a second on
Yeah, St. Brown.
Brown, St. Brown. I always just want to say, uh, it'll be interesting to see if he plays because I don't know if you saw this or not,
Punch.
but yeah, the what's his name put out said, hey, he threw a punch at me first. Everyone missed that. Although again, the referee was right there, just like that Parsons trip. The referee chose to ignore it. But what I'm saying is now that that's out there, that should be sent to the league. And I don't know how you justify not suspending him when you already suspended the other player. So maybe he won't play against us.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
But that's going to be interesting. You got what, three teams with winning records in the North? Is that right now? You got Packers. Packers are
Packers, Bears,
Lions,
Lions.
Bears,
Oh
and
my.
Bears. Right? Yeah. Oh my,
Packers,
exactly.
Lions, Bears. Oh my. Yeah.
Packers, Lions, and Bears. Oh my. They're all what, 6-3, 5-3-1, and 6-3, right? Or six? Is that right? They're all above 500.
I mean, the Vikings are 4-4.
Who? Oh,
Vikings are
and the
four and
Vikings
five.
are.
Vikings
They
are
don't.
four
They
and
don't
five.
have a team with a losing record in that
One
division.
Vikings are 4-5. 4-5. They
Oh,
lost.
that's right. I thought. Okay, I forgot about the Vikings. Wait, Lions, Vikings, Packers. Okay, I was thinking they were 4-4, but yeah, they're 4-5.
Yeah,
Okay,
Lions and Bears are both 6-3. Packers 5
yeah,
3-1.
5-1.
I mean, we're running away with the division. We're running away with it.
Yeah,
3 more games, we
yeah,
have the division locked out pretty much.
yeah. And see, that shows you where the Eagles are in terms of the organization and the fan base, though, compared to some others. It's like for most of my life, if you said that, that's like a huge deal. But now it's just like, yeah, okay, but that's kind of just the thing that should happen along the way to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? It's like
yeah.
it's a step.
Yeah, but the NFC East doesn't even seem good though. Outside the Eagles,
No,
like
although I will say
they
to
were.
to be
I'd always be like, all right, that seems kind of good. They're kind of good. They could sneak in some. They could sneak in a couple teams to the wild card. It's not even the case this year. It's not even the case this year.
yeah. Um, to be fair, and I hate to give them any praise at all, but and I do think Dak Prescott is a stat merchant at the end of games when they're losing and he puts up big numbers. But if that Cowboys defense gets a little bit better the rest of the game, now I think their record's too far gone for them to get a playoff spot, but
Hmm.
they can hurt other teams.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I
absolutely,
mean? If that
absolutely,
defense gets a little better and the offense keeps doing what it's doing, they can wreck some dreams.
absolutely.
So hopefully not ours.
Hmm.
Well, it's like I'm saying, we're all looking at the Eagles. Like I'm looking for the number one seed, man. I'm not looking to make the playoffs. I want that bye.
Yeah, no, we need the buy.
You
Dude,
know?
I would say we need the buy. I
Yeah,
want
yeah.
we don't want to go on the road to the Rams.
No.
Home field matters this year more than most years.
And to be
Home
fair,
field
I,
matters
I
this
would
year.
I would much rather play Detroit in the cold weather as well than go play them in a dome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah. Because
and
they're
then
both dome teams. That's true. They're both dome teams.
yeah, and then Seattle. I mean, I'm not. I don't know. I mean, Seattle. This wasn't expected, and I know Sam Darnold. He's shown flashes of being really good. So I'm not sure yet whether they're legit in terms of can they win a Super Bowl, like
Yeah, but that's a
or
team. That's a team where, unlike the Lions and the Rams, they won't be scared to play in the cold. You know what I mean? If we're talking about any like threat,
yeah, yeah,
like they won't be. oh, it's cold in Philadelphia.
Right.
If it wasn't snowing, we would have won. No, you
Yeah.
know what I mean. I don't think the Seahawks have that. I think that'll be. I think that
Oh
game will be
man.
like a game like tonight, like a game like last night. Just
Yeah.
a cold blood. I mean, if you really look at it in the playoffs, when you have like two cold weather teams, it's never
Yeah.
really like a shootout. You know,
No,
it's never a shootout. It's
it,
usually a
it looks
grind.
more like last night. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
let's face it.
yeah,
That's kind of how a lot of cold weather games look.
yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah, we shall see, man. But yeah, I mean, you got anything else you want to rant and rave about?
Um,
And I don't mean that you rant and rave. That's
yeah, no.
Eagles
Yeah,
fans do that. Me
yeah,
too.
no. It would just be where was Michael Carter yesterday? I like Jalen Phillips. I like what I saw from him, but where was Michael Carter at? That'd be my only other. Where,
Yeah, I mean,
dude?
all I
Phillips was good. Where the fuck is Michael Carter? And where the hell is Tank Bigsby? Those would be
yeah,
my three
all
questions.
I can think with Michael Carter is maybe with the way that the week went, and I don't know the playbook and this and that, and where they were going to go. Maybe they figured, you know what? Let's wait a week. We're not fully comfortable.
Dude, I hope so. If this guy hasn't learned, no, I hope so. Because if he hasn't learned the playbook in 2 weeks, bad trade.
Yeah, because
Bad trade.
because the other thing I was thinking with him, with the there could be a little bit of extra because they may be designing stuff like we talked about before, where
Yeah,
Cooper DeJean's now on the outside and that type of thing. So maybe they're like, we want a little more prep time for that. Adoree
yeah,
Jackson's back and healthy. We're gonna get through this game. Wow,
yeah,
somebody's upset. Oh, okay, maybe that's not the reason. I apologize.
yeah. It's and dude, I'm looking at this right. I'm looking
here's
at her.
here's Rose said let
Yeah,
Ben crash out.
and I'm looking at our
That
stats
never
right.
that never happens, Rose.
I'm looking at
That
our
never.
stats right now. Andrew Makuba, 2 interceptions. Dude, where's he been at? Where are these guys? Where are they now? Where are my guys at?
That's not good when you're doing a where are they now show when it's still the same season.
Yeah, like where
Uh,
are they? Dude,
well,
Nicole B. Dean gets healthy. Vic, you're great, dude. Like you're great, Vic. But Nicole B. Dean gets healthy. What the fuck happened to Jihad Campbell? Like he suddenly can't play. Now we're suddenly putting him
no, well, that's
in
no.
the wrong spot. Come
Jahad,
on!
Cam, Jahad Campbell's playing. N'Kobe Dean played 65% of the snaps, so
Holy smokes!
Campbell played the other 35%.
But I'm talking about
By the way,
like
I,
impact wise. I'm like, dude,
well here, but
did we just take his confidence away by bringing Nicole Dean back?
no,
You got to fix that,
this,
Vic.
this is how good the defensive line has been, Ben. That secondary you're talking about, you didn't hear their names because it wasn't necessary. They didn't need to do anything. Nolan, shout out Nolan Smith, by the way, coming back, making a huge play. Jalex Hunt was fantastic in the pass rush. Phillips was fantastic in the pass rush. There was no running game, as
Rhodes,
you
can you
said,
tell
with
Rhodes?
Jacoby.
CDS is a lot more optimistic than I'm more of the pessimist. I'm more of the
Oh
pessimist.
no 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 no! I had to adopt this. I had to adopt this role because could you imagine Ben and I bringing the same mentality to the show? We would melt servers.
Yeah, man, it's
So, I've taken upon myself to be more in the mentor role and dial it back just a little
yeah. Should
bit.
they lose against the Lions? Yeah, this is the game that I called out. If they're gonna lose one, it's the Lions. But don't lose to
Yeah,
the Cowboys, man. Don't
screw
lose to the
that. They're
Cowboys.
not losing to the
Don't lose to the
Lions.
Cowboys, man.
Eagles are going to go 15-2. They're going to set a new franchise record for wins.
15-2.
Hey man, the alternative is 2023 and they go 7-10.
Gosh.
Hey, here's a quick story for you. This real quick to that point. This is kind of funny. You wouldn't know this. Rhodes might. I don't know if he knows because of not being a Philly fan, but there was a guy back in the day, 90s, took over a great team, coach named Rich Kotite for the Eagles. At one point, Ben, he used the excuse. I think he should have gone for two, right? And he went for the extra point, and then he said it was because his cheat sheet that he had. It was because it was wet. He misread it, and so later he was getting a lot of heat as coaches do because they weren't performing. And then there was a season where he got to 7-2. They went on a roll. They're 7-2, right? And this was his last year in terms of contracts. So that was the talk. Are they going to bring them back. And he was asked about that when they were 7-2, and he was, he was feeling himself.
Mm.
He said, well, because the team, the ownership was like, at the end of the season, we'll evaluate that. And he was like, no, well, maybe at the end of the season, I'm going to evaluate that, okay, whether I want to be here.
Mm.
They didn't win another game. They went from 7-2 and finished 7-9, and then he was fired.
Yeah, well, he kind of did dictate it on, didn't he?
It was like, wow, like it was so unbelievable. I could still remember that even as a kid. That he's like, maybe I'll reevaluate, man. I'm the coach. We're 7-2, and yeah,
Mm.
that was the end of that season.
Brutal.
Typical Philly stuff. It's like the '64 Phillies up 6.5 games with 12 to go, blow the division.
Mm.
But
All right, CDS.
anyway, we could be here forever talking about heartbreak Philly stories. Yeah. All right, man. Appreciate you coming on
Yankee
as always.
stories,
As
man.
always, we go longer than we
Yeah,
planned. That's all
fun
right.
too.
I
Indeed.
appreciate everyone who showed up, hung out. Feel free to not make roads be the only. And Star Wars, I got to shout out Star Wars because
Hmm.
he also got in there, or she. I don't know Star Wars. I don't know, man. But anyway, you Star Wars got in there and got in the chat as well. So appreciate that, cool, of course. So yeah, man. All right, we're gonna sign off. Appreciate everyone showing up.
Peace.
Big win, ugly win, but big win. And yeah, talk to everyone later, man.